possible way the 1930s flathead master tones in either the style 3, 4, Granada, sometimes 6, but those were the ultimate, and in my opinion, which is not always right, but my opinion, there's nothing to replace the original flathead master tone banjo in the right hands. You give it to any of these people, and some of the guys that are playing them today are playing some of the most outrageously wonderful music on them. I mean, Bela Fleck can get wonderful music out of an original flathead master tone, but he also uses a lot of other banjos. And Ned Luberecki, he plays that style banjo, and he plays phenomenal music on it that isn't, I wouldn't by any means call it old-timey bluegrass. But they've taken those banjos and they found that they are a real source of great music. If you go over to the open back world and all that, I think that most of us have, at least Harry Bickle, my good friend, and I have enormous fondness for the Fairbanks family of banjos. Cole and Fairbanks were down the street from each other in Boston. They built similar banjos in many ways. And the Fairbanks series that came with the first one was called the Electric, which had a scalloped part of a tone ring that had a ring on top of it. Then that evolved into later the White Lady tone ring. And then the other one was the tubaphone. And those two banjos really dominated the Fairbanks vocabulary and banjos. And to me, those are wonderful banjos. They're not the only answer. They're not the only ones. There's a lot of guys out there making great banjos, and a lot of guys making them sound good. But to me, that's the evolution of the banjo is sort of stopped, and I haven't seen anybody go beyond what those banjos have accomplished. And that goes back to the 1900 up to 1930. Or probably 1940 is better.
Well, there's almost a mystique about the rings, right? The tone.
Oh yeah. There's more superstition than fact. When we set out to try to replicate the ring, we had a very small amount of metal that we took out of both a archtop tone ring and a flathead tone ring. I guarantee you both of them were original banjos. And we took them over to the University of Cincinnati's metallurgical lab, put them under a spectrometer or a spectroscope or some kind of fancy machine. The guy said, "Oh yeah," and he looked under it and he said, "Oh, here." And he picked up one of his books. It was about 2 inches thick, and opened it up and he said, "Right here, that's what this is." And what is it? And he said, "It's German bell bronze." And I said, so he said 80-20, 80% copper, 20% tin, and both ingots need to be as pure as possible. Now, the term they use when you buy ingot, which is a raw metal in a block, is you get standard if you just go in and buy it, and it's guaranteed to be 85 to 90% pure. You buy virgin ingot, and that's the term they use, you get 95 to 100%. So there's 5% still floating around there that you can scratch your head and wonder what it really is. So you're not dealing with 100% of anything. So you can find trace elements of all kinds of things. But the one other key factor was that you do not, in bell bronze and bell making, it says in the formula in the book, there's nothing I invented, I just learned about it, that you do not use magnesium flux while you're casting your brass, because it will not let the metal work harden when you put it in the lathe to make the bell or the tone ring out of it.
That's my dad. And that's part of the NAMM oral tradition. They interviewed him because of his expertise in banjo and guitar making and fixing. And this is him and Harry Bickle playing.
To my sweet sunny South, take home.
I've left, and the dear hearts that sheltered me there. But my wife, my family, of whom I'll be with, will the old place again do I say. Down the path to the cottage, they say has grown green, and the stones all mossy around. The faces and forms I once loved so well now lie in the cold mossy ground. But still I'll return to the place of my birth, where our children had played around my door. And I know that no matter how long I may live, their footsteps will echo no more.
That's Harry Bickle. He gave me my first electric guitar.
Take me back to